I have a good feet.
Yeah, people pay good money for that.
Really?
Oh, a lot of money. Yeah.
They
I know
really
some-
do.
I know
We're
some.
gonna be
Yeah.
fun in Hopetown Entertainment.
I know
like-
some girls who like they have guys like on. Oh, don't give it away.
Oh
Once
yeah.
you-
Not for
Don't
free.
show up.
I know for free. I know some girls who will just they'll like literally have like a setup.
Are
No.
you joking? Can we do this tonight, Brand? You take the pictures.
Sure.
I'll give her 10%.
I want 20.
Okay, you can have 20.
Are we filming?
Yeah,
Are we-
let's
oh,
We're
start.
rolling.
Okay, we're going.
Oh wait.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
hey. I. Oh, then once it like the red light is on, I'll get scared.
Okay, well
Okay.
here's
Well, let
a-
me give you. Let's.
what I think I need to say.
What do you need
we
to
need
say?
to start saying welcome to Sorry We're Stoned.
Welcome
Okay.
to Sorry We're Stoned.
Am I saying welcome or you?
You
Should I
can
say
it
thank
too.
you
Oh,
or?
yeah.
You can
Thank
say
you,
You
welcome.
can say whatever you want.
Cool.
Well, we end up just start talking and we don't even do an introduction.
Yeah, we
Okay,
don't.
great.
Are we trying to get professional?
Well, we did call her daddy a minute ago now.
Congrats.
And
That's
thank
fun.
you. So we had
I hear it was great.
it was amazing.
Okay, I'm a fan of the podcast. I have to listen to the episode.
Mm-hmm.
She is everything.
Yeah, she's
Okay.
cool.
And she is one of those people like she needed a podcast. Like she
Mhm.
is good at her job. But anyway, before her, we were just winging it. And now I'm like, girl, we got to step it up and get a little more professional. So
This is pretty
I
professional.
feel
good, right?
getting
Yeah,
there.
no, it's awesome.
Okay, great. And
Yeah.
so
But I guess we should start the show.
yes.
By welcoming our listeners are called the Stoners.
Hey guys.
So
Yeah.
if you hear me say the Stoners, that's who I'm referring to.
Okay.
But let's introduce the Stoners to Alec Benjamin.
I'm Alec Benjamin. Hello.
in the house.
Emma, which camera do I look at? This one.
This is
That's
your personal
yours.
camera.
Hey.
It's
hey
all
guys.
just about you on that
Hey
one.
stoners.
Yes.
Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we're super stoked to have you. If you guys happen to not be familiar with Alec, he's a singer-songwriter working on your third album at the moment,
Yes.
is what I was
Yeah.
told.
So I put out a mixtape. Technically, like it's my fourth, but it's like my third.
Okay.
Like it's a technicality, but yeah, it'd be my third full length album.
third
But basically
full-length
my fourth.
album.
Yeah.
You've toured pretty much all over the world, yeah?
Yeah, that I have.
yeah.
I'm just missing South America. That's the
Ooh,
only
that's
place
a
I'm
good
missing.
one.
And India. I need to go to India.
Okay.
But
but
South America, those fans.
The
I hear it's
best.
crazy.
It is so good. Okay, for somebody that's older like myself,
Yes.
what exactly is a mixtape?
Well, it's a way for a record label to put out your album without moving you through your contract. Is technically-
Wait, so a
True.
label gets so the
True.
label's involved even in a mixtape, or you just give the mixtape to the label to know
So
who you are?
I guess essentially like mixtape started out as being like a lot of like hip hop artists would sort of like in their backpack like have their mixtapes and I don't know
Got it.
I don't know the exact origin, so I don't want to like say something and then have someone in the comments be like actually it was
So it's kind of like a demo.
yeah, but what it was for me was the label didn't want to move me through to my next my next record
Mhm.
cycle, but then it ended up counting, so that's great.
Well, that is great.
Thanks.
That's a
yeah.
win.
Who's your label?
I'm signed to Electro Records. They're great. They're
Oh,
great.
yeah, I like Electro.
it's all
I love
good.
that.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
Awesome.
Very cool.
But yeah, that's what it is. It's mostly just like a technical term now they put in contracts so that it doesn't. It's like a full length album, but it's like not really.
Yeah, it's like a full-length album that doesn't count toward your albums that they're going to release.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I've been a part of a few of those deals.
I feel like
Okay.
you've also been on the other side where you're like, we want out of this.
That's what
Can we
I
put out a
mean.
greatest hits?
That
Can
will-
we put out a
see,
live?
That's why they don't want to count it because they
Yes.
want to.
They want to keep you.
and
of course.
that sucks.
Yeah.
So,
Well, yeah, it's okay. Thanks. I like it. It's
But we
great.
love
It's great.
you.
It's
You're
great.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's too funny.
It's fun.
Okay.
I'm happy that I get to make music.
Oh, I
that's
love
that's what
that.
I'm
I
what I'm
love
happy
that.
to be doing.
So how long have you been doing this, and how did you first get introduced to music at all, and when did you know this is what you wanted to do?
I feel like I knew it was what I wanted to do, and I realized the other option was going to college. So then I was like, okay, maybe I won't go to college, because my parents were like, I remember asking like, well, what happens like after school? And they were like, well, you can like go to more school. I was like, that sounds like a terrible idea.
That's what I said, too.
Yeah. So I said, no thanks.
So
and I
you didn't go to
started-
college at all?
I went for a year. I went to
You did. So did I.
USC.
So
Fight
did I.
on,
For
fight
1
on.
year.
Where'd you go to school?
MTSU in Tennessee.
All right, go
Yeah.
Tigers. That's Clemson.
God,
Go,
I don't even know.
I
go
don't even-
Tigers.
Not
MTSU,
Raiders.
go Tigers.
I don't know.
Go Tigers.
Don't even know the
Yeah.
mascot.
Yeah,
That's how
go
little I
Tigers.
like school.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like when I knew. And then how'd I get into it? I don't know. I guess I kind of just fell into it. You get to a point in school, where people like kind of, like when you're in elementary school, everyone's in the same class. You all get invited to everyone's birthday parties, and then
Yes.
there comes like an inflection point where like people start to specialize. Some kids play
Yes.
football.
Yep.
You start not to get. I didn't get invited to those parties. I was like,
Mhm.
shit, I have to like do something.
Mhm.
And there were some girls that I liked that they were like, oh, this guy plays guitar. It's like so hot. And I was like, fuck, like I gotta learn how to play guitar. Like,
Love it.
so I was like, Mom, like I need a guitar, And then I went to summer camp.
I'm dead. This is amazing.
I feel like it's how a lot of people come to it.
I
It
love
is.
the honesty.
Yeah.
So many.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and then I found like John Mayer and Jason Mraz and like some other artists that I really was a fan of, and I feel like that was kind of like what put me on the path. So I think it was a confluence of a lot of different things that ultimately ended up in me becoming a musician. But I feel like I knew that's what I wanted to do when I really found out that my other option was to just get a job,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm good, no thank you. I don't think I want to have a job.
Not yeah.
I mean,
Not a boring
I may
one.
yet still have
I
to
mean,
have
I
one.
love that. I mean, I love it. It's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, I taught karate for a little bit,
Yeah.
which was cool.
Yeah.
Did you grow up doing that?
Doing karate or
Karate?
teaching yeah, a little bit. I taught the Little Dragons class.
Cute.
Yeah.
So, I was a sensei for a little bit. And then I was a summer camp counselor. I did like those two jobs, but I quit halfway through the summer because it was too much. Like the kids were waking us up and we weren't getting any sleep.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And I could sense the other counselors were about to quit, and I thought, shit, I gotta jump ship first. Because I don't want to look like I don't want to be the last one to quit.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I was the first one out. Yeah.
I feel like we have a lot of similarities.
Were you also a summer camp counselor?
I know. I never even got
No.
to summer camp.
Okay,
but
okay.
like, I
Alright.
feel like weirdly, like I was the cheerleader and all the
Mhm.
things and got
Okay.
invited to the parties, but I just wanted to go to a bar where a band was playing and be a groupie instead.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Grass
I
is always
kind-
greener,
I
isn't
kind of
it?
walked that line of like cheerleader girl, but not really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you like doing
It was
cheer?
an act.
Was it fun? Did you like it?
And I more liked cheering for the cute boys on the football field.
Okay.
That was the motivation.
It was all
Fair
about
enough.
the cute
Not
boys
about
for
my
her.
athletic.
Did you cheerlead as well?
I did.
did.
All right,
I
let's
would like
go.
to say you forced
Give-
my
give me
hand
an
on
A.
that
Give
one.
me an
Yeah,
A.
yeah.
Yeah,
I was
she-
a major.
I was a bad one.
Yeah.
I like was a competitive cheerleader and I was a flyer, which is
Oh,
the one
amazing.
that goes up in the stunt. And I fell once and
Okay.
was terrified and didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
And my coach was so mean to me. She was horrible. Do you remember
Yeah.
this?
Not really.
She made me be a bass even though I was so tiny. I couldn't hold
You were
anybody.
so little.
And she made me, that was my punishment for falling in the stunt.
How did you decide to go from? Did you just start out doing like because there's like a difference between like the cheering
for your
on the
school.
for your school and then
Yes.
doing that kind of cheer.
I went straight to competition
So did Molly.
cheerleading. We all
Yeah.
did. Yeah, that was smart of you.
That
Because
was
like
very smart
that's
of
more
me.
fun, I
Okay.
think,
Yeah.
than just go
more
school.
dangerous.
It is more dangerous.
It's such
Much more athletic.
Even like if you watch cheerleading on ESPN, I don't know if that's a regular.
If
for
I
you.
watch what?
If you would
Cheer-
watch it on like when they have.
I did
ESPN.
watch it because one of my friends in school was on a travel team. It's
It
also
is-
who I learned how to play guitar for, so it's bringing it full.
Oh my
Cute.
gosh!
I love
wow.
that.
We
That
are
full
full
circle
circle.
moment.
Yeah.
But it is freaking dangerous.
Mm.
I mean, like what they do now
Oh,
with
I
these
know.
girls is wild.
I know. I follow Gabby Butler on TikTok,
Oh, love.
and her stunts are nuts.
it's absolutely insane.
yeah.
I need to follow her.
She's a
I
good follow.
suppose.
Yeah.
Her stunts are
Because
crazy.
did you watch what was it called?
Cheer?
The Netflix one.
Yeah,
Apparently, it's amazing.
it is
I
amazing.
have not seen it. But I need
Season
to
one's
watch it.
amazing.
Oh, I watched it going to South America
Mhm.
for tour.
Okay.
And so
all
I
right.
watched the first season going and the second coming back.
Yeah,
and
it's a
I
good
was
show.
obsessed.
Where in South America did you go?
Everywhere.
Okay.
And honestly,
That's a lot of South America.
we
It's a
it's
lot.
a lot.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's
But we toured everywhere, and it is my favorite place to tour.
what was
Yeah.
your favorite country?
Mine's Argentina.
Okay. Why?
I did love Argentina.
I loved I mean, the show in Argentina was amazing for sure. But outside of that, I liked the food best in Argentina.
Okay.
I think that country is very diverse. You get the city, you get the country.
you speak
yeah.
Spanish?
I don't.
Okay.
But you know what's interesting is a lot of South America, they speak Portuguese. And Spanish doesn't even
You
help
speak
you very
Portuguese?
much. I do not.
Okay.
I took
Interesting?
French in school like an
Okay.
idiot. Never used it a day in my
that's
life.
French is an amazing language.
Can't speak
Just
that
can't
either.
use it in South America.
Can't speak.
No.
4 years of French and I can't speak it at all.
Do you speak French?
No.
I feel like you can speak a little French.
You
Her
think?
name
I
is
feel like-
a little French.
Yeah.
Leticia.
That my mom. Well, they said Paris was actually named Leticia
What do you
before
mean?
it was
Oh, the
Paris.
city?
Isn't that weird?
Is that true?
I don't know. Look
I
it
think
up.
it's true. Yeah,
You
I think it's
think
true.
so?
Can we
Someone
look that
Google,
up?
someone
Somebody
Google
fact
that.
check.
It's
that.
something about Leticia in Paris.
Okay.
Anyway, why are we talking
My parents
about?
almost named me Leticia too.
I'm forgetting why we're
Then
talking
they almost
about
named me
this.
Paris, and then it came to Alec. It's
If
crazy
your
how
name
that
was
happened.
Paris, I would kind of be down for that,
I'd be down.
actually.
It was named Leticia.
Wow. Okay.
That's crazy.
Is that not? See,
I'm impressed
I know.
with that fact.
It was also almost named Alec too, and then it
Oh,
just.
whoa.
Yeah.
When is your birthday?
My birthday. Are you gonna go? Sun moon
yeah.
on me?
Yes, I am.
How about you guess? You could just give me like the whatever, whatever it's called. What do they call it? The astrology.
Uh-huh.
My astrological sign. What if you had to guess?
I feel like I need the full episode to really make a logical guess.
Okay, but if you had just like
Part of me could kind of see him being a Gemini. Are you a Gemini?
You're only getting one of my personalities right now.
Wow.
Yeah, true. How did you know?
Are you a Gemini?
Yeah.
Because I'm a Gemini.
Let's
That's
go.
how I knew.
Okay.
Our friend.
What are you? Well, I'm getting. It's giving Capricorn.
No.
Okay, I don't even know what a Capricorn is.
I
So
don't
there's
know.
no-
You're a Gemini.
I just wanted to say it's giving.
It's
I'm
you know?
a
giving.
Taurus.
A Taurus. Okay, so
Yeah.
you're then August.
She's
May.
April, May. She's right before us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing. I don't know.
So
Yeah.
what is your exact birthday?
Could you guess?
No.
I bet you could get close. I bet you.
Are you a May
Oh, sorry.
Gemini?
That I am.
You are. So
What's
am I.
the? Oh my god.
Mother- what
give
is
me
that?
a day. Give me a day. It's like throwing darts. Oh, you're gonna hit a bullseye right now.
May 30th.
Almost.
I'm close.
31st.
So close. No.
29. 28.
How did you know?
We're so close. I'm
What a-
26.
You're 26.
Yep.
All right.
Mhm,
Okay.
Huh.
All right. Good guess. Okay. So
Interesting.
other
Very-
than whenever I say like if I'm going on a date with someone, they're like, oh, because I've had people be like, oh, like, like, oh, what is your thing or whatever, and I'll be like, oh, guess. And then if I say Gemini, they'd be like, oh, like you have like
We get
two
a bad rap.
personalities. Yeah. Why
Mhm.
is that?
Well, we're
Is
the
it, are you all
twins.
supposed to have two personalities?
Yeah, that's the twins. The Gemini's the twins, so they
Oh, I
people love
see
to say you're
this.
two-faced. I'm multifaceted,
What
bitch.
does it mean?
I ain't two-faced.
What does it mean that it's the twins?
Gemini, or
Or
that's
like
that's
two
the sign.
personalities.
Is two, yeah, twins is like basically saying you have two personalities, and people love to like take that negatively, right, and say you're two-faced, or
Okay.
I don't think that's true.
or that nobody can really know you or
I've heard
whatnot.
scary things about Scorpios.
Those-
I've heard scarier things
Those
about
are the bad
Scorpions too.
Here's
Scorpions.
what I'll say. Here's what I'll
Am I
say.
right?
Are Scorpios manipulative?
Yes, they are.
Scorpion.
I'm a
I don't-
Scorpio rising, unfortunately.
And my mom
I don't
was
know
a
if-
Scorpio, and now looking back on it, she had some manipulation in her.
Yeah,
She did, she
I would
did.
say Scorpios might be scorpions. I'm not sure if they're
I'm not so
sophisticated
sure.
enough, but if they could manipulate,
True.
they would.
So you know that the majority of serial killers
Are Geminis?
are Geminis and Virgos.
Okay.
That's a
All
true
right.
fact, unfortunately for
Okay.
us. We get a
Gemini
bad rap.
and Virgo.
The highest number of serial killers, like when you see them listed, it's like Gemini, Virgo,
Okay,
Virgo,
do you think
Gemini.
that's a coincidence? Or do you...
No,
No.
not that I know. it
Unfortunately,
now.
I don't think so.
Okay. Do you know anything about numerology?
No.
I don't really. Somebody was trying to
Okay.
explain this
But
to me
I'd like
recently.
to.
Do you have a lucky number?
I don't have a lucky number, but I had dated somebody who was very into numbers. So I was
Oh.
going to try to impress you with my
Interesting.
knowledge.
I
of-
was so I see 333 all the time.
Okay. It's better than seeing 666.
Oh God,
True.
that's because I'm an angel, not a little devil.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good
And,
sign.
but I see 333 all
Is
the.
it 333 or 33.3 or 3.333 or 0.333?
I feel like it's usually looking at a clock. It's
Okay.
always the time.
So like 333.
yes.
Also
Mhm.
3:3:33.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Very-
All right.
but I do see that a lot.
That's interesting.
And then I hear that's supposed to mean something.
Do you look at clocks a lot?
I kind of feel like no.
So this is a big deal.
I really
This is a
do.
big, this is a big deal.
She is so crazy.
Because I rarely look at clocks too,
Me
and I would think that
too.
if on the times that I had looked at a clock, if I saw the numbers, I would also feel like it was significant. So
Totally. I'm like walking by. Oh,
yeah.
333.
You know, I actually can't even read a clock, just the digital one.
Oh yeah.
So
You
don't
remind
need
me
to
of
anymore.
someone, and I cannot think of who
Really?
it is.
who's that?
I don't know yet.
You know the first name that came to my head?
Who?
Gary Busey, but I hope I don't remind you of Gary Busey.
I am dead.
That is definitely not it. That is absolutely not it.
Oh my god.
Who could it be?
I don't know. I'm gonna keep thinking.
Okay. Maybe one of my personalities, or maybe, who knows what
See,
the other
now
personality
see?
remind you of.
That's
Okay.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's so funny. All right. Well, we're gonna let her think about that. But
Okay.
I'm curious to know. I know you went on tour with John Mayer,
Yes, I did.
and you also mentioned that he was like one of your early influences.
That's very true.
So was that like a little bit of a I made it moment getting to tour with him? Like, was that super cool? Like, I'd love to
Yes.
hear more about your thoughts on like opening for one of your idols.
I
'Cause
think the scary
cool.
thing is, like, when you have like a peak moment like that, I never feel like they're an I made it moment. They're mostly I hope I can make it back moments, you know? And that feels to me like I wish could have the realization of like or to feel as if I'm having the realization of I've arrived, but I always feel like I hope I can arrive again. So I think that actually, funny enough, I think like meeting John Mayer and having him listen to my music, and having had been such a huge fan of his was actually paralyzing for me for a while. So going on tour with him was maybe I had known him for three or so years before that, but the first time when I put out my first mixtape, and he found my music, and then he started tweeting about it and posted on his Instagram. I remember I was in the back of my van. We were on tour, and it was like snowing, and it was crazy. And I think like that moment really changed my life, because then I realized like, oh, like my favorite artist is like listening when I put out music. And I'm not sure if it
Pretty
helped me
cool.
or if it's pretty cool, but it's pretty scary. And
yeah.
Okay. See, like I feel like my kids may say something similar. I don't get that.
Okay.
Really?
Why? I'm just wondering, because like they'll say that, and I'll be like, "What? Why?" You know,
Why?
like, and so I'm just like, I want to
don't
know
know.
why you feel like that. Like, what does? Because I don't know that feeling. I mean, I'm not an artist.
Well, it's
and-
almost like when like if you're doing cheer and your parents are watching you, you know, and you just like, you know, like
The
when
pressure.
you're doing it in practice, and
so
you
you
can nail it
wanna-
in practice every time, right? And then your mom and dad come and they're watching you, and you're like, shit, my parents are here, you know, or like, you know, someone's here, and then it becomes like a scarier proposition. I think it's easier when you feel like no one's paying attention, because you can really be yourself. You don't have to censor yourself. But that's me personally.
No,
I think,
I love that answer
Mm.
because it makes so much sense now.
I'm glad that's the only answer I got. So.
And honestly, yeah, like there's a lot that
Uh-huh.
he said that resonates with me. That is such a good analogy.
Yeah, it's a scary thing, but it was a really cool opportunity for me. And having that happen at the beginning of, I think coming out of COVID was like a really difficult time for me. It was hard to get inspired. And so John, I was texting with him, and I had just seen that he had opened, or he had posted about this acoustic tour he was doing. I was like, dude, I gotta go. I'm excited. And he's like, do you want to come? You know, and for me, that gave me like kind of like the pick me up that I needed coming out of the pandemic, because I was pretty depressed, you know.
We all were a little bit.
Yeah, and it was like, you know, I had 2019 hit. It was like kind of things were finally going my way. You know, granted, people had it a lot worse. I had, you know, it's okay, but you know, I was looking forward to a lot of things, and then it kind of disappeared. And then, you know, having that kind of like usher me out of the pandemic was a nice way to come out of it. And so I went from that into writing my next music. But
So John Mayer is the reason you were on his tour. It wasn't like his team or your team. Like he's the one
no,
that
yeah,
said.
he asked me personally.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. It
Very
was
cool.
really, really cool. And he was awesome. He gave us access. Like, I didn't really have to bring a crew or anything. He sort of like provided everything. He paid for it for all of his openers, because I did like one leg. There were 3 different artists, and he gave us access to his video screen, which is like expensive. Someone has to operate. You guys know, someone has to operate that stuff.
No one does that. For
Yeah,
their
no one
openers.
does it. So people ask me all the time, like, is he cool? I'm like, dude, you don't even know. Like, he's.
You know what? I think that he is somebody that shows so much support for other artists.
Yes.
Because I remember with Noah,
yeah.
I remember he tweeted something out at her, like this song. I think it said something like, this song is not only going to be huge in
July,
20
right?
whatever.
and he was right.
It's forever.
He was right.
And that was so inspiring for her. So I feel like he does that, which is so really very cool.
Yeah, he's a very genuine guy. So I appreciate that. He also did the Caller Daddy too, and that was
I haven't heard that one
It's a
yet.
good
I need to
episode.
listen.
I'm excited to listen to your guys' episode.
Yeah, it's
good.
fun.
Well, she's so funny.
I heard you guys had a good time.
We did. So guys, as you guys already know, I have been trying to eat healthier. I've been on my gym kick for the last few years, and I constantly say my biggest problem is I need to eat healthier. And for me, I'm so busy that I don't have time for a lot of meal prep or deciding what recipes to actually do. And Home Chef has changed all of that. The thing that I love about Home Chef is that the recipes are chef inspired. And they deliver not only just ingredients, but fresh ingredients right to your door. So for me, not having to go grocery shopping or really think about every night what I'm going to eat, Home Chef has just made the biggest difference. And it will for you too. And for a limited time, Home Chef is offering my listeners 18 free meals, plus free shipping on your first box and free dessert for life. All you have to do is go to homechef.com/stoned. That's homechef.com/stoned for 18 free meals and free dessert for life. And you must be an active subscriber to receive your free dessert.
You've toured since being on tour with him then?
I've not.
Oh, you
I haven't
haven't?
toured in like 2 years.
And why is that?
Because I've been writing and I feel like I've been finding myself again. So we were talking, I tried all the drugs. I did that, you know? Now this year, I'm not like, I didn't go crazy. I didn't try all the drugs. Like I wasn't like, okay, so that sounds wrong.
Your team's freaking out. Your team's freaking out. They're like,
he is not on heroin. He is not on meth. We're talking about one
I wasn't like
mushroom.
on the streets or whatever.
No,
but
my
like I was
God.
like, I was kind of like, I was trying to find myself again. I was like making music, and then I don't remember where I was going. I thought I had a good story going, but I
we
don't.
were talking about not touring. You haven't toured since being on the tour.
I haven't
Sean.
toured, but I'm gonna be touring pretty soon. But over the pandemic, I tried an edible the first time, and I thought I live at home still. I'm 29.
that.
Yeah, it's time for me to get out at some point.
You're
but
29.
Yeah.
He looks so young.
How old do you think I was? 14.
24.
24. Oh yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
All right. No, I'm 29. But 24 would have been better, living with my parents. But it's okay.
I think that's fine.
Well,
Yeah.
So I had the
Get
edible.
it while you can, because once they cut you off,
You're a goner.
They're ready. They've been trying to sever ties for a while now. They just can't.
Are you an only child?
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not. I have a sister. But she's married. So.
Okay.
So I was with my sister and my brother-in-law during the pandemic, and then he's like, oh, I've got these like mints or whatever, and I was like, oh. And I did the classic, like, oh, it's like, it can't, I don't feel it yet. And then I just had like 2, which is not a lot, but I slept in bed with my parents.
Oh my God.
I thought I was dying. I was 26 at the time though, so.
Oh, so
yeah.
That's too good.
we were talking with Wells, and he did the same. He was having a hard time sleeping, and so he took a little half of like a weed gummy.
Okay.
I'm talking lost his mind.
Okay, yeah, it can happen. I feel like they're pretty
lost his
intense.
mind. And it happened to me twice.
Mm-hmm.
And I will never do gummies or edibles ever again because it was the worst thing I've ever experienced.
Do you find there's a difference between the strains of weed?
She
Like,
does.
I do.
Because I find they all do the same exact thing to me, and
yeah,
they all make me
no.
really scared.
I hear this from a lot of people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people do feel like that. It does not do that to me, thank goodness.
Right.
And maybe someday it will, because I've also heard that can come on. So for me, I never did drugs. I never drank alcohol. Like, I was a good girl up until I hit about 42.
Okay.
And that's when I first
It
tried
kills me.
weed, like in my 40s, not in high
That's
school.
probably the best.
not
That's the best time to start.
Honestly, my kids were raised pretty much like, and it just worked for me.
The first time.
literally love it.
Well, the
Was-
time you accidentally tried weed
That was not okay.
was not
How did you
good.
accidentally try
And
weed?
She
Well,
had
was
a brownie.
at one of Molly's party, I thought it was a brownie.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, I ate this brownie.
How much weed do you think was in there?
I didn't
How
eat
many
the-
weeds?
I didn't eat the whole brownie, but
You didn't?
I ate a half of the brownie.
Okay.
And I start feeling a little weird, and it's also at a very strange place. The party was at
Yes.
Beecher's Madhouse,
Where is that? What is
so
I
that?
don't know what that
it was 10 years ago the place to be. So it was
Yeah.
a bar in the Roosevelt.
And it's not now.
It's not
It's
anymore.
not there anymore.
Bar in
Don't
the
go there now.
Roosevelt, and it was run by this man Jeff Beecher, who
The Roosevelt's downtown.
Yes.
Okay.
And he literally was like, what is the king of the circus? He was the
ringleader.
the ringleader.
Yeah.
So he literally, that was what it was called. He was the ringleader, and it was Beecher's Madhouse. And
It was like very circus vibes.
yes,
Okay.
But,
very
like,
strange
spooky.
circus vibes.
Oh, and it was like a scary experience.
It wasn't
Not
scary.
I don't, how do
We'll
you
pull it
explain-
up for you
But
later.
if you're on drugs, it's an experience.
I was-
I'm sure. I'm
At
sure.
that
I'm not speaking
time,
from experience.
I was very like,
Excited.
no. It was like I was in shock.
I feel like my brain does like Mad Libs, and you're like, not scary. And the first thing comes to my
In
head.
shock. So I'm like, let's go home. So I get home, fall asleep, and wake up like 2 hours later
Okay.
in the worst panic attack I've ever had in
You
my
were still
entire
high.
life. So high and
Mm.
so like wanting it to stop so bad, and it just wouldn't.
Yeah.
And so I do not do any type of inedible ever.
Yeah, that happened to me. Like my friend came over for the holidays, and he was like, "Dude, he's been living in Texas, so he there's not. I guess you can smoke weed there, but I think it's like a little bit more difficult to get a hold of." And
Yes.
he's like, "Oh, I got this edible," and I ate it, and I was like high for like a day and a half. And it wasn't like I wasn't scared. I was just like, I really want this to stop. I was like, this is
I
annoying.
think that's the scary thing about it is you don't know how long the effects are gonna last.
Yeah.
Like with drinking, I feel like
I hate it.
I almost feel like I can
Yeah.
decide to be sober. It's weird. Like there are times where I've gotten a little drunk and I'm like, I tell him, I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh, we're too drunk.
Do you remember?
It's,
do you remember
it's
your
time
first
to be
drink?
sober. My
Remem-
first drink,
yeah.
yeah, it was like a Smirnoff. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, you
Well,
got
Smirnoff.
iced.
The Smirnoff, probably. But I remember
Okay.
thinking, I'm pretty sure I was in high school,
Okay.
and I remember thinking like, this is the worst thing I've ever done.
Okay.
Is
all
drink
right.
this Smirnoff right now because I'm so young. You would have been so upset. You
Oh,
know what I mean?
would've.
Yeah.
So it was very bad to me. At
I
the
was
time.
strict.
I was a
Okay.
goody
If you
goody
found-
also.
If you had found out, what would the consequence have been?
How old were you? If she was over 16, she would have no car.
I was 16 probably.
Oh, yeah, car gone.
Car gone, cell phone gone.
Any room for
Sidekick.
negotiation there? Or no.
Nope.
Gone immediately.
Gone
And here's
immediately.
what I will say as a parent, what I will tell any parent, pick your battles. And when no is no, it's no. Like
Okay.
there is no, like when you say no, mean no.
Okay.
She meant
And there
it.
is no negotiation.
Okay.
But you don't have to say like if your kid wants to get a tattoo and like they're gonna go do it with or without you. Like so for me,
Did you do that?
I took her to get her
She
nose
took me to
pierced.
get my
Like,
Okay.
I'm like, okay, who cares? They're putting a little teeny hole in their nose. Big
Right.
deal.
Okay.
Like instead of having
Did
her
you go to Claire's?
No, we
Oh,
went to a
a
tattoo shop.
Okay.
I got the real
Yeah.
deal. Yeah.
But those things I just would have rather been a part of
Yeah.
and instead of them doing things behind my back.
Yeah.
Okay.
My brother Trace, his first he's covered now.
Yeah.
His first tattoo was a huge chest piece.
Songs of Victory.
And she took him to get it.
I did.
What was it?
It said Songs of Victory.
Songs of Victory.
Mhm.
Okay. And what is that? Is that a?
It's a
is
Bible
that a
verse,
biblical
yeah.
thing?
It is, yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay.
And now his whole body's
Yeah.
tattooed. So she
Okay.
really just
But my whole thing is like I was that, but my kids knew like if I said no, it meant no.
So what were okay? So the drinking. What were the other lines?
Oh,
I'm trying just for comparison.
no sex, not ever of any kind, not ever.
Okay. And how'd that go?
I mean,
honestly, great. 'Cause
Pretty
none of them
good.
have kids.
Okay.
I'm the girls. Those are the girls.
oh
were
yeah,
the ones I
brazen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just the girls couldn't have sex.
Could you
The
have
boy-
like a boy over but door open?
door open.
depended on the boy.
Depends on
That's
the boy.
right.
She was very picky.
Okay, so you interviewed them.
Pretty much.
Did you
Like-
scare them?
And in like 5 seconds into talking to one, she'd be like, "Nope,
Yep.
Okay.
nope."
Yep.
Okay, fair
I
enough.
But you didn't give him a
honestly, it's
chance.
a tourist thing. I think like I just know people from like that.
Right.
So
Okay.
she says,
Yeah.
"I would just like to point out."
and I
No,
figured out,
moms have that ability.
I figured out who he looked like, and I'm not going to say it
Who
on
is it?
here. You don't even know him.
Oh,
Okay.
And but they're one of my
You
favorite.
weren't gonna say Brad Pitt.
They were. They're one of my favorite people ever.
Okay, all right.
Well, and why
Uh-huh.
can't you just say, well, bleep?
Are they handsome?
Well, we built.
She's like, nah.
Yeah, so
Bleep.
Okay.
it's not even the way you look.
Who is it?
And we're gonna be.
Oh, well, I've never met him. That's
Yeah.
not fun.
He's very this.
What
Yes.
what is this? What would you say?
You have a great personality.
Like
Thank you.
Easy to
a
talk
great
to.
person. So easy to talk to.
Thank
Uh-huh.
you.
And like as much as you said when the red light comes on, then whatever. I feel like you aren't really that guarded at all.
You know,
Mm.
because I get a good vibe from you guys. I
See,
feel good.
and that's how I am. Like some people, like you just nothing seems authentic,
Mm.
and this seems
Mm.
authentic, and I love that.
I'm just trying to be, this year I'm trying to be, okay, so I was going to say, it's like this year I'm trying to just, like, I was trying to find myself for the last year. I feel like sometimes I think I'm getting closer, but I'm trying
This
to
is
just,
her.
I'm just trying to be,
It is, but I was also thinking he's 29, so he's about to hit that Saturn return.
yeah. What does
when,
that mean?
When you turn 30,
Okay.
just a lot changes
With
in
Saturn?
a great way. Yeah, with Saturn actually.
Okay.
And but there's just something about turning 30 where I feel like people just really, you come into your own, you really start to know who you are and what you want. You stop caring so much about like what you should be doing or what other people think about what you're doing.
Mm.
And I just feel like, I mean, we talk about this a lot.
I
Like
agree with
you're
that.
in your 30s, you really just settle into who you are, like in the best way.
I'm trying. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of parts of myself that I think one of my mantras for like the last like maybe 3-4 months or whatever is like parts of me, habits, things that I do. I'm like, do you want to bring this into your 30s? Is this something that you want to bring with you? So I'm a May birthday, so I can't do math. How many? It's almost 4 or 5 months. I don't know. I'm like, okay, I got like 4 or 5 months to kick whatever these things are out of my life. And I'm hoping to be like more intentional about things as I get into my 30s.
Molly did that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
and was she happy that she did it?
Beyond.
I've never seen her so happy ever.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, well that's good.
And I think there were like just things that she felt like had, anything that she felt negative energy or whatever is just that's out of my life.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she just seems so much lighter and happier.
Okay. Did you have the same experience like getting like
Yeah, I think I was probably more like 33, 34 when I really started, I think, to settle into who I was. And like in my 20s, I think I was very much a people pleaser,
okay.
and I cared a lot about what people thought about my choices and what I was doing, and I just always wanted to be doing the right thing. And I think like right before my mid 30s, I really got to a place where I started making decisions for me and not for anybody else, and not because I thought it was the right thing or it's what I thought I should be doing or
Right.
whatever.
It's hard to do though.
It is very hard to, especially when you do have that like people pleaser
Yeah, you don't
nature.
want to disappoint anybody. It's like-
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I
But
guess like
I
sorry,
think
go
I
ahead.
think those are patterns you do have to get out of
Mm-hmm.
because I was a slow developer or a slow mature. Well, I don't know, but it took me until I was in my 50s.
Hey, look,
to-
some people never get there.
They don't, and
Yeah.
like that's what I love to see people who recognize it
Mhm.
and then I put those things into action
Mm-hmm.
because I do think when you actually just start being who you really are
Uh-huh.
is when everything good happens.
So you're a very, very emotionally intelligent and aware person, especially for being 29 years old.
Do you think so?
I
Yes.
do.
I appreciate
What
that.
makes you that way? Is it your family?
my
Is it, have you
parents.
done work on yourself? Like, what's the tea there? Because I'm impressed.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I think that I have a really good family. I spend a lot of time with my mom and dad, and I think like in my family, being open about the way that you feel and being honest is valued. And so I think like when I was younger, but look, I also have a lot of deficiencies too, and those are also my family's faults. It was my mom and dad, they're to blame. But my parents always talked to me and my sister like we were on equal footing, which I feel like that's something that you guys had as well. And I think that that I don't really know. Sometimes I feel like I'm not so What makes you say that? Why do you?
Hmm.
Enough about me. What do you think about me?
But honestly, like it's so obvious, and like
it is just the way you speak about yourself and your feelings and your past, and I can just tell that you're very introspective.
Yes.
And I think there's a lot of people, and I've been guilty of it before too. I think as a human, it's really easy to just put blinders on and not want to really like think about your past or what you've done or the choices you've made or like maybe
I can't
things
think
you've
about
done
anything
wrong.
else, unfortunately.
Yeah, but I think it's really easy to just kind of like ignorance is bliss. Ignore the bad stuff. Don't do the work. I don't know. It is. Yeah, it is you. But like a lot of young people, I think really kind of live in that space.
Yeah.
And there's just not a lot of people that speak as intelligently as you.
It's an awareness.
It's an awareness. Yeah. Yes, you're very aware.
I think that also, I think like being in show business and stuff, like as you guys know, I think that it also like it calls for that too. If you want to grow and become a better performer and become a better songwriter, I think you have to be honest with yourself about your art. You know, I mean, I write a lot of songs, and I think that that's like a byproduct of the fact that like I think a lot about these things, but ultimately I think that like, you know, as hard as it is, you have to be able to take criticism because otherwise you can't get better. And at the end of the day, like I just want to make the best art that I possibly can. And so, you know, sometimes like you have to look at yourself, like, you know, you play it for a friend, you sit in the car or whatever, and then it's like, you know, on TikTok they had like playing this song for whoever, and it's always like, wow, it's amazing. You know, they don't show you the times where they're like that shit sucks, you know? And it's like sometimes you have to be like, okay, like you have to look at their intentions, and then you have to be like, are they being honest with me? Are they right? You know, and if they're right, then you can't, even though your first instinct is to be like, well, you know, screw you, like it's this great song, like maybe it could be better, and then you have to try and figure out like why is it. But that can be like really a painful thing to do, especially when you make something, you make a creation, you're like really proud of it. But you know, and I think there's something to be said for the fact that it's like, yeah, you don't necessarily always have to take into account what everybody says, but you know, sometimes there is a nugget of truth in that. And so trying to get to what that nugget is hard, and you have to be honest with yourself, and that sucks.
The thing I like see myself in you to the extent of like the reason I knew you were Gemini and just felt that like I feel like you're like me where you see every side to everything. Like I can see your brain working as you're talking and seeing every perspective and every side of what you're talking about.
Well, I appreciate that. I think I have a lot of blind spots, but you know, but
for sure. But even having that thought, even thinking that you've got blind spots is seeing that other perspective of what you're talking about as you're talking. And there's not a lot of people that do that.
Yeah.
And,
I appreciate
and
that.
speak it out loud. I think there's a really fine line between like being an artist, being a songwriter. You have to be your number one fan. You have to be so confident in what you're doing.
And your number one critic.
And your number one critic. But you have to be so confident in what you're doing and who you are and about your success for everybody else to believe it, right? Like that's kind of like success 101, right? Is like fake it till you make it. Like you got to believe in yourself. You got to like if you don't think you're the best, no one else is going to think you're the best. And so I think like when you're an artist, you're a performer, and you're in this entertainment business, you can do that so long that you kind of get blinded by it to where you're like, I am the best. This is great. You know what I mean? So to be able to have the humility to also be like, you know,
also listen to people.
Yeah.
You know, you do have to have that confidence, but I think a lot of artists end up self-sabotaging.
Yes.
Because they're too prideful to listen to your team who does this for a reason. And, you know, like I think for me, when Molly was younger, it was much harder when we would talk about a song and she'd be so pumped up about it. And, you know, I never would be like, I don't love it or whatever. I would just be quiet. And I think, you know, that says a lot too. And then she'd be upset with me or whatever. Right. And now that she's older, well, not older. I mean, she's like your age.
You guys are around the same.
But, you know, now she's like aware, like, oh, like she listens to me so much now, and we have a conversation about it where I think when you're younger, your pride and your ego can get in the way so much, you know, and feelings. And like, I just think art, it's so beautiful. And then when it's judged and someone doesn't feel the same way, it's like offensive, but then it's a business and it's just a whole mess of things.
It's complex. I feel like I'm on a pendulum a lot of time from like thinking that I know what I'm doing, then to like, I suck. How do I do this?
Yep.
I can't remember. And I feel like then I have to like, you know, call Evan or whatever and be like, dude, like, what am I doing? Like, is this music even good? You know, like, and then that's also hard too. It's just like, sometimes you have to like you have to be crazy enough to believe that you can do something that
Absolutely.
feels like it's impossible. But also at the same time, you have to know how to, I don't know, you have to know how to get those thoughts out of your head when you doubt yourself. And I think that like it's about maybe 60-40 or maybe 70-30, 70% of the time doubting myself, 30% of the time being like, let's fucking go, dude. I got this shit, you know?
I love hearing this because, like, really it's just so funny how an artist thinks that way. Because I feel like I'm very creative, but when you're an artist, it's just different.
It is,
You all just, I think you're just sensitive in so many ways too.
Well, it's so
Ladies.
personal.
It is personal. I mean, it's personal.
like
Especially as
songs
a
and
songwriter.
shit.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I could be wrong. There are people that don't write from personal experience, but I feel like the majority of songwriting is like, it's very personal.
Yeah.
So for someone to say they don't like it or it's not good,
Exactly.
fucking hurts,
It
Like,
hurts. I think that what I try to figure out is like, I guess for me, like the art is about like communicating. And so, if people don't necessarily, if they understand the message that I'm communicating and they're just not down with the message, I think that like I can live with that. But as long as my message is communicated properly, I think that there's sometimes like, if you write an essay or whatever, and then you proofread your own essay, you can't do that because your brain fills in the blanks. You have blind spots. There are some times where I'm writing a song and the message is clear to me because I know what the message is that I want to communicate. But there are clear points missing, and someone will be like, I'd be like, this is what the song's about. They'll be like, I didn't get that at all, and it's like that's on me, if I'm like, if I have melodically or rhythmically or lyrically, I'm saying something that someone is just like, I don't really, that's a little too on the nose for me, or not something that I'm ready to hear right now. I think that like that kind of criticism is like, okay, well maybe you're not the audience for this song, but when you haven't necessarily achieved your goal of communicating the message you want to communicate, you're not ever going to find your audience. So you have to be open to those criticisms.
Do you mostly write all your own music?
I mean, I co-write, but when it comes to lyrics and things like that, I like to do it myself. I write songs on my own, but I'm so critical of myself that I need, and not to minimize the contributions of my co-writers because they contribute a lot, but I also sometimes need someone to be like, that doesn't suck. You got this. You know what I mean?
Okay, I'm very much like that.
Yeah, because as you're making it,
that's amazing. Like, I get that totally.
Okay. Yeah, well, I'm glad to know that I'm not alone.
Yeah, no,
totally.
I think that you just need somebody to kind of build your confidence that.
And hey, look, there's a lot of times where people will be like, yo, like,
that's
what about
good.
these chords? Or, yeah, or it's not good. Or like, what about these chords? And it'll become a completely different song, you know? But I think like, even if I were to write a song just solely by myself, sometimes I need someone, even if it's my mom, I'll go into the house and be like, yo mom, like, what about this? And she's like, nah. I'm like, okay. But then sometimes I get a nugget and she's like, oh, that's actually good. Like, I remember when we were talking about Let Me Down Slowly, I had written the chorus and stuff and the verses, and I showed my mom, and she was like, but when it got to the chorus, she kind of liked it. And I was like, okay, I'll keep this chorus piece, and then that's what I brought to my session. So you never know.
Love that.
That's so cool.
We talk a lot about manifesting
on
this podcast. Or I don't know if you're into
now.
that. Yeah. So who would be like a dream collab for you? Or what's something like,
I mean, this is a pretty sick collab we got going on right now.
Seriously. I love that.
We're gonna make some stuff. Let's go.
Yep.
Okay.
Love that.
Who would be a dream collab for me? I'm not really sure. Can I ask you what is your favorite piece of art? It could be in any medium, but that was a collaboration.
Ooh, that's put me on the spot.
I'm thinking of The Game and 50 Cent, Hate It or Love It.
I'm thinking Tom Ford for Gucci.
Okay, that's kind of sick. That's sick.
That's an epic answer, actually.
I don't even know what it looks like, but it sounds amazing.
It's sickening.
Okay.
All of it's sickening. That's so funny. Like cheesy because it's my own sister, but like Miley and Dolly doing Wrecking Ball together with the I Will Always holy
Epic.
shit. It was sick.
Yeah.
That's pretty lit.
Sick collab.
So who would mine be? I don't, you know what? I'm open right now. I think I'm hoping that the right collaboration kind of falls into my lap, but there's some artists that I've been, making songs with. Like I was working on a song with Khalid that was pretty cool.
Nice.
I don't know. I'm a fan of a lot of different artists, so it's hard for me to say. I'm not really sure. A collaboration is something that makes me uncomfortable because I'm pretty shy. So like working with like other artists, you know, like they have their own. I get like when I'm in the studio with them, especially, you know, I want to work with people that I'm a fan of, and if I'm a fan of them when I get into the studio with them, I'm like, oh shit, you know, that's them.
Yeah.
What do I do?
That's so true.
You just gotta tell yourself you deserve to be there.
Yep.
Yeah. So
you're there for a reason.
That's a long-winded way of saying I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
Who do you think he should collab with?
Well, I felt like it was somewhere in my notes. It said you loved Coldplay.
Oh, I do. Oh, that would be sick.
I think that would be.
That would be the cool.
Coldplay's so
Hit me
sick,
up.
right?
Yeah, Chris
like
Martin, what's
that
up?
would be so.
They do
cool.
one of my favorite live shows I've ever seen.
That's my favorite live show.
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, I do not know why you're not a manager.
I ain't got no time to be a manager.
She's DJ.
No,
she's doing her
I
thing.
manage myself, damn
You guys
it.
have- you
Like,
have
what
a
are you talking about?
I know.
I manage this podcast. I manage my DJ career. I manage my farm.
I do love Coldplay. What tour did you see them on?
Oh gosh, it's been a while.
Was I with
Viva
you?
La Vida, I think.
Oh, you saw them on the Viva La Vida
I think
tour?
that was the tour
That
I
is
saw.
a legendary tour.
The neon butterflies falling and like just like epic moment. They're so good. She's not really.
I don't think so.
We also, what was that? We went to some like charity event or fundraiser or something.
Oh yeah,
that they performed at.
That's
it was a small room.
My favorite song is the one Molly did on Bangers, and she went to and did it acoustic
with Mike Will.
Oh,
with
the scientist.
Scientist.
Scientist. Is that the one she did?
Oh, she did Scientist with Coldplay?
Oh, not with them. She covered it.
I thought
is what she's talking about.
I thought you were talking about the one where Mike Will produced that song for Bangers. Bangers is pretty good. I'm getting the right record, right? Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Yes.
I'm a fan.
Well, last tour.
Last big tour, yeah. But she did the Scientist, and it was so sick.
She did cover that. It was cool.
Yeah. That is cool. That's a timeless song.
I love that song.
It is a timeless song. But yeah, I'm gonna manifest that for you, a Coldplay collab.
Hey, I'm down.
How about that?
I didn't believe in the whole manifesting thing, and then I was with someone from my record label named Chelsea. She does the like the radio promo stuff, and we were like, is in the winter right before John had done my stuff, and I was saying to her, I was like, oh man, like no one's gonna post about my music, no one cares, like never gonna work. She's like, you gotta manifest stuff. She's like, I'm manifesting John Mayer is gonna post about you, and it happened the next day.
Way.
I swear to God. And then Billie Eilish posted about me the next day.
That'd be a sick collab for you.
That would be a sick collab.
Sick.
She's too cool for me, but if she like comes down and notch and cool, and I'm available.
You can't be putting that shit out there.
You are
if
cool.
she lowers her bar slightly for cool, I'll be waiting here for you.
You're nuts. You're so crazy.
I'm a fan.
Yeah, that would be so sick.
That would be very cool. Yeah.
And honestly, she just seems like sweet.
She's very sweet.
I was sitting by her at the Grammys and met her mom, and she seems so cute.
That's rad.
Yeah,
it
was awesome.
And she was nice.
So nice, and Phineas is so nice.
Okay.
Yeah, so nice. They're just cute.
Okay,
love them.
Well, I'm a fan of both of them.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, my last question for you.
Okay.
I feel like I haven't really heard you say that you get nervous or anything, but I've heard you say like sometimes it would be intimidating to go write with somebody or whatnot. Do you experience any sort of like anxiety or any of that when you're performing or when you're on stage? Does all that go away? Are you the most confident
anxiety
motherfucker?
Getting out of bed in the morning, to be honest. like getting just like I'm like negotiating with my alarm clock. You're like, yo, dude, like. If you give me 3 more, I swear.
Like 3 more hours, that's me.
So
I want 4 more hours.
Yeah, exactly. So I do have anxiety about basically everything in my life.
Even performing.
Everything.
So what do you do when you're about to go perform to calm the nerves?
Go to the bathroom.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You gotta poop, you gotta poop. You know what I'm saying? Like
Tish doesn't, but yeah.
we joke that I don't do
that's
that.
That's been a running joke.
So anxiety ruined my life for years and years and years.
And what did you do about it?
I personally got on Lexapro.
Okay, that's fair.
And you smoke weed.
And now smoking weed helps me a lot. I know that doesn't help a lot of people with anxiety, but it was so crippling that literally I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't fly. I had anxiety so bad I could not function.
Okay.
And could not control it.
I was afraid of flying for a while too. And Lexapro helped you. That's an antidepressant, right?
It is, but if you take the lowest dose, which I've never been any higher than the lowest you can go, it really helped because I've never been like depressed. Thank you, Lord. But the anxiety was crippling, and low doses of Lexapro help with anxiety.
Totally.
So I'm just so terrified to come off the Lexapro because I've been on it since 2004.
A long time.
20 years.
If it helps, it helps.
Yeah.
Changed my life.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So just the bathroom, huh?
Yeah, I just go to the bathroom and then I call my mom. And yeah,
But
I don't
if
know.
your tummy hurts, then aren't you scared to get on stage?
Yeah. No,
Like,
no.
Don't
for
give
real.
him anxiety.
No, for real, I am. Actually, one of my biggest fears is that I'm gonna like go to the bathroom on stage.
This is her
This
biggest
would
fear of
be
all
me.
time.
Yeah.
For anything.
And
the
it
plane,
did not
a
help
meeting.
that Joe Jonas pooped his pants on stage.
That's sick. That's fucking awesome. Yo. He was wearing white pants too. They do the white pants, right? Little duty stain on the back. Little doo-doo. They call him Doo-Doo Jonas.
I am dead.
Yo, when I was in high school, the first time I drank, I was 18. I drank like a half a bottle of champagne, and then
Wow.
I pooped myself.
No.
Yeah, my friend's birthday.
Oh my God.
So they call me the party pooper.
Oh my God. Wells just told us the funny story too.
Bob shitting his pants. This is a theme.
Oh my God. And I'm like, don't say that. That's going to give me a fear.
That
I
is
like a
too
real one.
good.
No, you'll be good. You'll be
Okay,
good.
yeah,
If it hasn't happened yet, it
I
will
don't do
happen.
that
Oh
anyway.
my goodness,
so.
that's so funny. Okay. We play a little game on this podcast called Truth or Toke.
You don't
Okay.
have to.
But you don't have to toke.
Yeah, I probably won't. I'm gonna abstain from
We
that.
can make you like eat a Hershey kiss or something
All right.
instead. And so
Okay.
it's
I've
you
been
either
eating those
answer the
anyway.
question or you toke / eat a chocolate or I usually drink champagne, but we don't have any today.
Okay.
Which is probably for the best.
Yeah.
But it's 3:30. Do you have your card, mother? Here we go.
Let me find
Card
it.
and glasses. Get them out.
Okay, can I eat a chocolate?
Yeah, you could eat a chocolate.
Oh, you do the chocolate.
I'll
I'm
ask
gonna
the
have
first
to-
question while you figure your shit out.
Okay.
How's that? All right. What is the strangest fan edit you've ever seen to one of your songs?
Strangest fan edit. Nothing crazy. I'll do truth.
Okay.
But strangest thing I've been asked.
Okay.
Pictures of my feet. Yeah. For a decent price too.
So maybe you should get on. What's the website?
Feet finder.
Who
Yeah.
asked you to do that?
I don't know who he was, but
It was a guy.
It was very sweet. It's a very sweet man, but I had to I could not oblige. I said no, sir. These feet
not
are-
for any
these
amount of
feet are
money
not
you
for
wouldn't do
anyone.
it.
So
Yeah.
this was over social media?
Instagram, yeah. Yeah, he said
Was that in the comments or the DMs?
it was in the DMs, yeah.
That is weird.
And the starting asking price was $50 a pic. At the time too, I was just getting
he
started.
offered you money?
50 a pic, yeah. And I bet I could have gotten him up to 75 too. I know how to negotiate.
I'm going to go on OnlyFans feet.
It's called Feet Finder. There is a whole like
feet
website.
found. Her feet are about to be found.
She loves her feet. This
More
is
than
a whole.
anything.
This
It's
is
my
a whole
favorite
thing.
part of my body.
Okay. All right. Hey, look, hit her up.
I have good feet.
Yeah, people
Oh
pay good
my
money for that.
God.
Right?
Really?
Oh, a lot of money. Yeah. I know.
They
I know
really
some-
do.
I know
We're
some.
gonna be
Yeah.
funding Hopetown Entertainment.
I know
like-
some girls who they have guys on. Oh, don't give it away.
Oh
Once
yeah.
you-
Not for
Don't
free.
show up.
I know for free. I know some girls who will they'll literally have a setup. And,
Are
do
you
their feet.
No.
joking? Can we do this tonight, Brian? You take the
Yeah,
pictures.
sure.
I'll give you 10%.
I think in no time you'll have people hitting you up.
I'll give her 10%.
It's a pretty common fetish.
I want 20.
Okay, you can have 20. Because we are making some
That's
money.
too
that's your first foray into management.
Oh
It
my
is,
God,
yes.
You get to
I will
manage your
manage
feet.
the feet pics.
Yeah.
That's yes.
Great.
Yeah, for a hot 20%. Would you like to ask a question now that you found your card?
Yes, I would. Oh, well, we know a fan slid into your DMs, but have you ever slid into a fan's DMs?
To a fan? Not knowingly. I saw a girl who I thought was really pretty, and it just so happened that she was aware of some of my songs, but I don't go looking for that. I think it's not it's not something I would do intentionally. But sometimes you end up meeting somebody who's heard a song or two or whatever, but it's not something I go looking for.
It's a little different.
I'm not
Have
Yeah.
you ever slid into a celebrity's DM?
Yeah. I DM'd Doja Cat a few times, but she's never hit me back.
Oh, I just sat next to her at
I
the
know.
Grammys.
She's so cute.
She's
Let her
very
know I said
sweet.
what's up.
Why did you DM her? Because she's cute or because you wanted to work with her?
I just like her. I just think she's cute. Yeah, and I like her music too. But I asked her out. I said, you pull it up.
If
I
you
said,
and
hey.
Doja Cat went on a date, it would make
Who,
my life.
who was the guy with her at the Grammys?
I'm not
Boyfriend
sure.
or brother?
I don't know.
The
fact that I have to
Hopefully
ask
it was
that
her
is
brother.
probably a bad
Hopefully her
sign
brother's not her
for her.
boyfriend.
Yeah.
Seriously.
The fact that I had to ask that is a
She
bad
is so
sign for him.
freaking cute. She
Yeah, I
has
think
little
she's cute.
The
glasses
tiniest,
and-
cutest little thing.
I'm a fan.
Yeah,
She's
me
very,
too.
very
She's
cute.
awesome.
I love that. Okay.
Let's see.
What do you say when you slide into the DM?
You want me to find the DM?
I would love
Yes.
Oh, I don't know if I have my phone.
that.
Is it over on the? Yeah, it's over there. Can you grab it for me, Ken?
Because we literally just we had a stoner call in recently that wanted some advice on, if I'm going to slide into some DMs, like, what do I say?
Go boldly. Go boldly where no man has gone. I don't know. Just say the truth. Be like, hey, I think you're. She didn't respond to me, so don't listen to me. But I would just say what was on my mind.
This is how my mom found her husband.
I
slid into the DM.
I slid into the DMs and got married a year later.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Hey, look, there's still
true.
hope for
And
me,
I was
then.
his fan.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
I think y'all were mutual
I said,
fans.
I love your music. I'd love to go on a date with you sometime.
Oh.
No
What
reply.
a sweetie. Did she read it? Does it say read or seen or anything?
It says nothing. Yeah, I didn't assume
didn't
that
even
it would,
open it.
but I was just like, oh, she's tight. Like,
And also, I bet somebody else does her socials, maybe.
I was thinking that
that
too.
must be why. If she would have seen it, she would have responded.
Absolutely would have.
If only she knew.
We're putting this out in the universe.
Yeah.
This one, I do want to manifest this.
Yeah, we'll
okay,
manifest
well,
that for
look,
him.
I
He's
mean,
too cute.
I'd also be happy to just be friends too.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
True.
And honestly, this just cracks me up that out of everybody he said Doja.
I know.
How could I say?
We were just with her.
I love it.
I know.
And I get that from you.
All right, look, okay, fair enough.
I get that from you.
That's too cute.
Uh-huh.
Hilarious. Okay. You've admitted to using ChatGPT for lyrics before. Is that true?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know. Like, it wasn't keeping it a secret.
Okay. Confess to a line that you've actually written using ChatGPT.
I haven't used any lines from it, but what I do use it to do is like I use it to prompt me. So I'll be like, I'm writing a song about this. What are some ideas of where the song could go next? And then it will give me some ideas, and then like that will prompt another idea. That's where I find it to be the most useful.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Asking it to write like exact lines for you,
Nah.
pretty hit or miss. But it does help as like to prompt me.
Everybody's using it now.
This is fascinating to me because I think a lot of artists and creatives are very anti, honestly, including myself. Like I'm freaked about ChatGPT. It scares me to even like start using it.
No, it's amazing.
But it's actually really interesting to hear like a different perspective.
I think people have like really deified the whole thing. It's like because it's become this sort of like taboo, but it's really not. I mean, it's just amalgamating information that exists on the internet. So it's just like there's a data set that it feeds the thing, and then it sort of like contextualizes your question, understands it in whatever way an AI understands it, and then it just sort of crawls the internet and puts a bunch of shit together that came from a bunch of different sources. Doesn't provide you a bibliography, which is fucked up, I think.
It doesn't?
No, it does not. So you don't know where the information's coming from. So technically, like this podcast could be part of the input that's put into the data set for ChatGPT, and then it could sort of like use some of this data to like give somebody an answer, and you don't get credit for that. But essentially, it's not like the computer's giving you ideas. It's taking it from people, and essentially like. If you've ever, like, when you're writing something or you're writing something, you're like, oh, I think I've heard this before. Like, your brain is kind of, at least I don't understand that much about neuroscience, but I'm kind of assuming that, like, it's a similar process. Like,
totally.
if you don't have inputs, if you need to be creative, you're like, oh, I got to take some time off so I can go live. When you live, you get a data set, a different kind of data set, input it into your system, and then you just regurgitate things in a different way. So,
interesting.
Yeah, I think the thing about people that separates them from the AI is that it's our taste ultimately that makes us the artist. So
totally,
your taste is going to be, the quality of your art is predicated on your ability to choose, to prompt the AI, and then also to choose the right answers. And you until when they start doing that, we're fucked.
It's just so crazy.
Right.
I forget, we were talking about something. What was it, Nona, the other day, and it's an app we needed for something in AI. Yes.
Oh.
And now, like, we're going to be able to have AI create our decks.
It's crazy. It scares me. I'm not
but-
gonna lie.
No, it'll be good. I think it'll be
It's
good.
terrifying.
I'm optimistic.
That's good. I need to be more optimistic. Do you have another question you'd like to ask?
Describe your worst performance and what did you learn from the experience?
Oh, my worst performance for sure was at the Velvet Underground in Toronto. At least it felt like it was. No, that's not true. I've had worse. My worst performance ever was I was opening for Matsus Yahoo. And I had just cold called him because I was a fan of his and I was getting started. I just got dropped from my record label and I needed some touring to do. I was touring, with my friend in a Chevy Malibu 2-wheel drive up the coast, like in like Boston, whatever. We were headed to a show somewhere in the Northeast, and we got snowed in, almost didn't make it. We got there. I got up on stage. I had a 15-minute set. My battery pack went out on my guitar, and I don't have a crew. It's just me. So I was like, in my head, I'm like, bro, if you can do this a cappella, you can do anything.
Oh my God.
And I did the entire performance with just a microphone.
You were joking.
And it was awful. It was absolutely awful.
Oh my God.
But I thought, here it goes. If I can do this, then I can survive anything on stage.
True.
And it was terrible.
Wow.
Yeah, that was my worst performance.
That's insane.
The
But,
Velvet
like,
Underground
you
one
did
wasn't
it.
terrible. I just thought, like, before I was like, I'm gonna crush this. Like, I'm gonna fucking kill this shit. And I went up there and I like made a lot of mistakes. But you know, it's okay. The fans, like, they support you. They fill in
Totally.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
honestly, I'd have to tell myself this a lot. Typically when you're playing a show for a room of fans, right?
Mhm.
When you make mistakes, they have no freaking clue.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I always get so paranoid when I'm DJing that, like, oh, anybody that's a DJ is gonna know I messed that up or did that wrong. But like, I'm not playing to a room full of DJs.
But sometimes
I'm
they
playing to a
like
room
it
full of
too. They
fans.
want to know you're a human.
Yeah,
1,000,000%.
for sure. But I do think like the majority of mistakes that
They
we
don't
know
know.
about
Yeah.
when we're performing, the crowd doesn't even
I
see
think
or
that's
hear.
true.
Absolutely, but I think he's right. I think it's so many people when they get to see that authenticness
Yeah.
that they love you more.
Yeah.
I think so.
And
for
they want to
me-
help you not feel weird, and they're singing and they do fill in. And
Yeah,
honestly, I
yeah.
feel like those are some super special moments.
Yeah, and I mean, you have no problems with this, I'm sure. But for me, it's like at least people know I'm actually doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
People, you know, it's easy for people to just say, "Oh, she's just pushing play" or
Yeah.
whatever. But if I screw
No.
up, at least you know I'm doing it for real.
Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
Exactly.
And everyone, I think you're right. As an audience member, like, you know, sometimes I've seen John play so many times, so I'll text him after the show and be like, that was amazing. He'd be like, oh, but I messed up X, Y. And I'm like, dude,
You're
I had
like,
no
"You're-
idea. And I'm
yeah.
like, I couldn't be a bigger fan.
Yeah.
So like,
Miley
you know, if
does
anyone
that
would have
all the
known.
time. I'm
Mhm.
like, what? Because I have actually very good ears.
You do.
And like she'll like pick something apart for days, and I'm like, no one knew.
knew.
And she's like, I knew. And I'm like, ugh.
I know.
But yeah.
Okay, let's do a couple of these Dear MTs
Okay.
quickly. So basically, our listeners call in to our voicemail. Sometimes they send videos, and they ask my mother for her advice, which
Okay.
she gives whilst stoned, typically.
Okay.
Mother, do you need to get high or what?
No, I feel pretty good. Am I not fun?
No, I was just checking.
you guys are like some of the most fun people I've talked to.
Awesome.
I'm really enjoying this.
That's it. We got.
Hey MT, hey Brandi. My name is Álvaro. I'm from Brazil. I'm 24 years old, and I want to say that I love the podcast. I've been listening since it came out, and it's one of my favorite things to do. And I want to say that I feel like both of you are part of my family already,
Oh, that's so
because
sweet.
I'm a Miley fan since I was a kid, and I've known you for so long. And I feel like both of you are like my long distance relatives that I've only seen through TV, but I love so much. And my question is, what's your favorite go-to when you're high? Like when you're stoned and you have like, I want to listen to a song and I want to watch a
I know
movie, I want
yours.
to cook some dish. Like, what are your favorite things to do when you're high? Like really stoned and say, I want to do something besides being sitting here just stoned. Love you.
I love that question.
He's so cute.
What do you think I would say?
Lana Del Rey.
Okay.
I love chilling to Lana and
Mm.
getting high so much.
What
She
album?
does.
Norman fucking Rockwell.
Okay.
I love every single song so much.
Okay.
And that, or I can also get into some serious 70s vibes.
Okay.
Okay.
I do love
see
it.
that.
You know, I'll
Uh-huh.
do some 70s vibes
Uh-huh.
and some Lana.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't smoke weed, but when I go to the dentist and get laughing gas,
Okay.
I have a curated playlist.
Are you for real?
For getting high at the dentist. I you know what? I should start selling it because it's good. But some
I'm
of my
dead.
like I have a ton of songs from both Alt J and the War on Drugs that are on that playlist. Because when you're high, they're already so good, but
Mm.
man, it just hits
Okay.
different.
I like
It's
that.
different.
Okay. I
Yeah.
think sometimes if I choose to get intoxicated, I'm trying to escape from music because it, you know.
I
Okay.
can see that.
can see
So
that.
I don't know what my go-to is, but it's not
Do you have like a
listening to
comfort
songs.
movie that you like to watch? Or
I
anything
listen
like
to I watch a lot of documentaries.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
that? Oh my goodness. Okay. We have one more. It's video.
Hi Tish, hi Brandi. This is Robert. I'm 27 years old and
these
I'm from
cuties.
Switzerland. And I wanted to ask you if you could choose any of your travel destinations to live forever, which
Mm.
destination would you choose? Sorry, my English isn't that good, but I'm trying.
I was
Crushed
thinking
it.
everyone's English is great.
Have a good day. Bye bye.
our stoners are from all over
I was
the
about to say, I
freaking
love how
world.
Let's
worldwide
go.
we are right now. Like
Yeah,
the stoners are.
They are everything.
best.
And honestly, we've never had two guys in one episode.
I
call
told
in.
you.
I mean, it is usually a all girl, but
And I have to brag on both of these stoners because their English is amazing.
it is.
Like I suck at. Why can't I need to learn another language?
Yes. Well, I'm gonna say if I'm moving to Switzerland.
I was. I do love it so much.
Yes.
I went to. Have you been to Switzerland?
I have.
Have you been to Interlaken by chance?
What is that?
It's like in the middle of the country, and it's like this little town between these two gorgeous like glacier lakes.
If I've been to it, it's only because I drove through it on a tour bus and I was
Me
probably
too.
sleeping.
Oh,
So yeah,
How can you sleep
I've been to
in
Geneva.
Switzerland?
Me too.
But I think Switzerland's amazing.
It's
It is
I've not been there.
amazing.
So is that a summer place that you went to, or do
People go during both, but I went in the summer, and it's kind of like a little adventure capital. Like people do like paragliding and
Okay.
cliff jumping, base jumping, like a lot of hiking.
When you say people, do you mean?
I
guys?
I did parasailing, paragliding.
You and Molly.
I get confused. No, not the one over the water because that was Cabo and that was
Oh.
also scary. I get them confused.
Yeah, me
One's
too.
over water, one's not. One is you're freaking strapped in with some dude,
Mhm.
and there's a big parachute.
And you're over the water on
They
the boat,
take you
right?
up to the very top of the mountain, and you get strapped in with this person, and you start running down the mountain until you start lifting off the
Not
ground,
happening for me.
and
Not
you
me neither.
fucking fly.
You did this in Switzerland.
It was terrifying.
Was it kind of fun?
No, I
Okay.
did not enjoy it for 1 second. My brother Brazen did paragliding
Yes.
where I did the one where you're like sitting in a bucket, and he did the one where you're like on your stomach like a freaking bird.
I
Like
could do the one in the bucket, I think.
It was terrifying.
How long? What's your flight time? How long are you?
it
How long are you
felt
airborne?
Forever, but maybe 20 minutes.
Oh, that's a long time.
That is so long.
It felt like hours.
That is a long time.
Oh,
I
heck
hated
no.
it.
I need a 5-minute ride.
I hated it so
I
much.
mean,
But
like-
Brazen loved it. And I did it because I had friends that had done it. Like Wells has done it in Switzerland. And they said it was the most incredible experience of their lives. I hated it.
That
Yeah.
would scare me.
But I did love Switzerland. And it's the most beautiful place I've literally ever been.
Okay.
Highly recommend. Would totally live there.
Okay.
I didn't love the food. Might have to like grow my own food. But
It's really weird though because the other place I would say is Amsterdam
Amsterdam is
because I
nice.
loved it so much.
I would have also said Australia.
Oh yeah,
Australia's cool too.
yeah.
Yeah. What about you? Where'd you live?
I would live right here with you guys. You know what I mean? Because
I can't take him. I love him too much.
He's too
where would I
cute.
live? I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. I don't know.
You've been to
but-
so many places though, I feel.
Maybe my parents' house.
Oh my
Yeah, that's where I've been forever. Is I haven't left yet. So
That's so funny. You loved
Yeah.
Amsterdam though?
I love. Yeah, I do. I like Amsterdam. I like. I was in Sweden earlier for about a
I
month.
love Sweden.
Yeah, Sweden's amazing.
I
Loved
love
it. Stockholm. That's the only place but I loved it.
Yeah, Stockholm is awesome. I love Asia too. Honestly, Tokyo is pretty
I've
cool.
never been to Asia.
Me either.
Tokyo is crazy. I think Tokyo is awesome. I love Seoul. Korea is fantastic.
So my stepson,
lives
he
there.
just moved
to Seoul.
to Seoul. Yeah.
Okay. For just cause.
He went with his school
Okay.
and fell in love with it. And
It's amazing.
As soon as he graduated, that's where he headed, and he has not been back.
No.
Yeah, you got to visit.
Yeah, he loves
Korea
it.
is amazing.
I've heard
Tokyo is like amazing. Oh, I love that part of the world.
See, I really think that would give me anxiety.
I think you'd like it.
But it like being. I mean, you are far away from home.
Yeah, but I think you'd enjoy it. I really do. I
Really?
think it would blow you away.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I really do. But
I
they're
just
very
don't-
strict about weed there.
Oh, I
So
know.
that you can't do. If you bring weed into Singapore, they'll kill you.
I
No,
I
actually.
believe it.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I believe it. Have you been to Cape Town?
I've not been to Africa
that
actually.
illegal?
It's frowned upon.
Going to Cape Town?
No,
Oh.
weed.
Okay.
It's the most amazing place ever.
I've heard
It's truly
amazing
the most
things.
amazing place
Have you
ever.
have you been on safari?
No.
That's cool.
A couple times, yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Amazing, life changing. Well, this episode was great.
Thanks
It
guys.
was-
Thank you. I enjoyed it. Thank you for having me.
This is awesome.
When
Thank
is
you.
the third album coming out?
Hopefully this summer. I think that's the
Okay.
plan. Yeah, sometime in May. Is what I'm hoping for.
Birthday release.
Yeah, I've done that. I think for the last I don't know if I've done that. I just said it, but yeah, but I think I've done it before. But yeah, hopefully around my birthday.
Okay.
But we'll see.
Wait, did you tell me you are on a label right now?
Yeah, I'm signed to Electra.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Are you got some tour dates coming up or not?
I have some shows I'm playing this summer in Europe, so I'll be going to. I'm playing Mad Cool Festival in Spain and Madrid.
Wow.
I'm playing some other stuff that hasn't been announced yet. I'll probably be going to hopefully to China. And then and the fall I'll be doing like a headline run in US.
Sick.
Yeah, but
Cool.
it's all
We gotta come out
still
and see ya.
tentative.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
please come to a show. That would be
Mhm.
really fun. That would be very fun.
This is awesome.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks, Alec.
I
Yeah.
really enjoyed it. Thank you, guys. Thanks.
See you guys
everybody.
next week, stoners.
All
Yep.
right.
Bye.
Bye.
This podcast has been brought to you by Podcast Nation and Hopetown Entertainment.